International Film Festival The Hague.
Time now to meet a man who's both a Hindu and a Muslim and goes by the name M.
And is on a padyatra of Kanyakumari to Kashmir, walking India's communal fault lines.
For everybody, it was amazing. You're walking the entire length of the country, 7,500 kilometers.
Because there is still great hope that in this country, where all religions have come together and coexisted in peace.
I am honored to welcome Honorable Shri M with this audience, and
thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have just, our audience has seen the whole movie, and they are curious to have a personal dialogue with you. Some questions.
Sure.
Please raise your hand. Anyone is? Yeah.
I have a question. Can you hear me all right? In your film, the film was gorgeous for this film festival, and also the message of the film was so important. One of the things I noticed was that you walked in India, which is relatively peaceful and calm, and in The Hague, which is relatively peaceful and calm. In Europe, throughout the world, we worry about other countries, Afghanistan, the Gaza Strip at the moment, Ukraine. I wonder whether walking is the most appropriate thing to be doing in these countries with the dangers that they have, or whether maybe there's something else which would be even better for this different situation. Thank you.
Sorry I didn't get your name, but good morning, sir. In India, the situation was okay for a walk because it's been a tradition in India for people to walk for peace, to put forward their message, either for unity or for peace. It's been a practice in India. Many people have walked to spread their message. Even Mahatma Gandhi walked to spread his message. And you just mentioned Europe. There was one great person who walked, St. Francis of Assisi, in his country, not in India. And he said, when people asked him, why are you not talking for a long time? He said, my walk is my talk. Which means when you walk and when you move with ordinary people, you know, some people just zoom in jet planes, but the ordinary folk, they walk on the road. Jesus Christ walked in Jerusalem. Moses walked. I'm not comparing myself to any of these great beings. I'm just saying that it used to be a mode, and in India you can still practice it. But you're right. It may not be possible to do that in other parts of the world. And certainly the other parts of the world also need a message of peace and unity. I agree with this, but it's not a mode which can be practiced. Now, if I may take a minute, before the COVID pandemic began, I went to London and met people from different communities, the church, the chief rabbi of London, and various other people. And some of the good friends of mine who were in the House of Lords were from the Jewish community, and so on. And we were trying to work out a walk for peace in Palestine. Many people warned me against this. They said, it's not a good thing to do because we don't know how safe this is. But I said, doesn't matter what, we will do it. But then came the COVID pandemic and it was shelved for 2 years. And now I don't think we can do that ever. I really don't know because of the situation there.
Thank
So
you.
to your question, so to your question, I would say that we need to perhaps adopt other modes of transport, but not change the idea.
Thank you.
Why we
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Keeping the spirit of the apolitical and non-religious walk, let's focus at our questions.
This problem that people do not live together really anymore in Western countries, in a way.
I know. It's very sad. I understand. Even I feel terrible. But then, you know, when an incident happens, like war or violence, it's a result of human beings' minds. So I think if I and you and some of us can understand and live peacefully and spread love instead of hate, after all, the world polity and the world religion, they're all built of human beings. So I think the change has to happen here in me. And if it happens in me, I am sure it will reflect at least a little bit on others, and others will also begin to change. One man can do a lot of harm as well as good. So my idea is that if our minds are oriented towards bringing people together, after all, we are all human beings. We cannot say we are not human, we are Homo sapiens. And we have many things which are equal and similar than other human beings are. There may be differences, but basically we are born from a mother's womb and we die and go back to dust. We are the same. So in this small interim period of time, why can't we live peacefully? Why can't we be happy? If I develop this peace in my mind, I think, affect other people also. So you're right, and I wish you spread this message to all people who are around that this world is a better place if we can live respecting each other's individuality and trying to find solutions through peace rather than to wars. You know what happened in Hiroshima. I don't have to say this. So I can't find any other answer to your question.
Thank you, Shriyam.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, please. Please pronounce your name and then make the question.
Hello, I'm Stefano Di Pietro. I want to congratulate all of you for this amazing initiative, but also in particular about this amazing film, this amazing documentary. So Akash, thanks for making this.
I think it was his work. I was just one of the cast members.
You did your part, I would say, as well. But Akash, thank you. And you said something which, among the many inspiring things we heard, you said that there is certain things that cannot be solved by politics. So that's a beautiful statement. That if you could tell us a bit more, so which things and how?
So some order has to be there. There has to be a. But I'm saying that I did not say it cannot be solved through politics. I said that the quality of the politics has to improve, and that can improve only when the individuals improve. If you elect a really person who is for peace and goodness and who wants to bring about peace and take them to the upper levels of power in politics, then what that person does will also reflect on his character, his mind. So I'm not into what you call electoral politics or any of these systems. But it's not possible to live in a country without voting if it is a so-called democratic country and so on, even though we know how votes can be bought. But if the minds change And if a person in power's mind can be changed and made more peaceful, I think the decisions that flow out of such a mind can also be good, productive, uniting, and peaceful. So this is what I try to work on, because there are, I'm sure, like good and bad human beings, there are also good and bad politicians. So if we can get one person who is good, perhaps that can make a lot of difference. I mean, one who is ready to sacrifice his personal gain, not monetarily, but power, and say, I will do this because it is good for the larger humanity, then I think things can change. I know it's not easy.
Thank you.
We learned more from the work than what we might have contributed to. Because it was a almost not done process, walking from one end of India to the other with no political connection, no political divisions in mind, just as human beings. We learned a lot. And one of the things I learned, which can be a contribution to whole of, at least to India, and which can be learned by others too, is that really speaking, no human being wants violence, really. I have gone to the smallest of villages where there are 500 people living. I went to a village in Maharashtra. You know, when you walk into villages, people welcome you. If you drive in a car and go, they might nowadays think you come to buy their land or to take it away from them. So when you walk, you have the advantage that people say, oh, good, he's a good man, he's walking. So they make you sit under a tree and have a cup of tea and have a chat. Then I learned that there is a village which has only 900 people, very small. And there is one Muslim couple living there, is entirely Hindu. There is one Muslim couple living there whose forefather died and who is respected as a saint. There were two. It's the entire village of 900 people looks after that tomb and looks after this couple. This is something that I found very interesting.
Very touching.
It also worked the other way around. So I said, if this can happen in a small village, why can't it happen in the whole world? It can. So, to your question, I would say we might have contributed very little, but we learned a lot which is helpful for future work, if not me. I'm 75 now, I don't know how long, but somebody else who's young and who can walk or who can bring about some change, these are good lessons that we learned.
May you live long and happy, and keep on guiding us. I think I'll just take one last question. Can you please? Shri M is, I think, a little bit strapped for time.
Oh, I'll be having a retreat in Bern. I'm sitting in Bern, in Switzerland.
Thank you for that.
This is Baruchi Mishra, Charan Spurs Swamiji. One question I had, what was your real high point, or at the same time the deepest point in your entire walk? This is so moving for all of us. Which section of your walk would you pick up as something which really touched you?
How many minutes do we have, sir?
If you are available, we are all ears.
Okay. So, well, we walked into Kashmir, into Srinagar on a Friday. I was on the borders of the capital, state capital. You know at that time what was going on in Srinagar, in Kashmir. The police and the department, the government, they all warned me to wait in the borders for a day and walk next day on Saturday. I said, why? They said on Friday, I knew, I just wanted to find out. There will be Friday prayers, and immediately after the prayers, people will come out and throw stones against the administration. Not particularly against anybody, but against the administration. So I said, if that is the case, I do not represent anything other than humanity. So I'm going to walk. Well, we changed all the hoardings in which the language was English and Hindi to Urdu so that people can read what we are up to. Walk of hope, bringing people together and so on. And we walked. Well, the police commissioner said, but in that case, we will have to walk with you. I said, then it becomes a police kind of walk, right, with guns. I said, please don't do that, but if you all want to walk with me, that's fine. So they were walking with us. There were no guns, they were all sent away. And as we walked in, you know, there is a famous place called the lake there in Kashmir, Srinagar. I don't know if you know it. Dal Lake. So as we were passing the Dal Lake, first no stones were thrown. We were unguarded, believe me. Then, second thing is all the boatmen stood on the way with flowers in their hands, saying, you're doing a good thing, sir. Welcome to Kashmir. This was very touching. You know? So I felt really that there is some hope for peace in this world.